Hello, Caitlin from the Compass team here. Today I'm going to take you through our professional development module, which is a great way to start requesting, approving and tracking your PD requests across the school within Compass. So it's in that centralized spot for all your staff members, which makes it easy to access and then easy to put against staff profiles. So your little sneak peek here, the professional development module does integrate with all those banner notifications. You can see I've got some feedback I need to do, but first we're going to jump into the module, which is under the grid icon here towards the top and under PD. So in here we've got a few different options. We've got a dashboard which shows me any PD activities that are happening, as well as my ones on the right hand side here. I've got a schedule which has its own calendar layer. So it's this orange calendar layer which shows you all the PD activities that are happening across the school. So we've got one here, a few last term and all that. And then I can also access the past PD activities and the upcoming ones. So very similar to your events module. In our administration tab, this is where we set up the PD templates. So if you're familiar with our Chronicle module, you'll understand templates that you can use to start logging Chronicle entries. This is very similar where we log PD entries. So I've got a few different ones in here under categories, externals, internals, and PPDs. And when I'm wanting to request a PD activity, I head back to our dashboard and I click Create New PD Activity. From here, I pick from the templates that we were just looking at. So maybe I'm doing admin training. They would pick obviously what's most relevant to the PD activity they're wanting to request. And then I get to fill in all the different parameters relevant to this PD activity. So back in the admin tab, this is where you tick on what you need. So on admin team training, I need to fill out all this. A PPD, you might have a little bit more information. So I'll fill this out quickly so you're not watching me, and I'll pop back in a second. Okay, so we can see that I'm going to request today Compass admin training. I can say that I'm running it with Caitlin. This is her phone number. This is the stream that it's a part of. I can also attribute it to a PO number. So if you're using our financial management and purchase order module, ties in here where they can cross-reference that you've requested that it's going to be paid for. Another good one down here is the periods that require cover. So because I'm going to be away for 2 hours, I'm going to miss 2 periods. So a CRT would cost $130 for me to replace. I can put in a description and say we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I can also add attachments if I've got a receipt or something. And then when it's actually happening. So a new feature in here is our repeat feature. So now we can say I do Compass admin training once a term at this time, or I do it weekly, depending on what the PD activity is. So I'm going to say it's happening Monday the 3rd. It's happening 9 till 11 because it was only 2 hours. And my custom location is Compass office. You can imagine you'd fill out the relevant details in here. The last section here is our notification chain. So this is also managed in the admin tab. At the moment, it would need to go to John to approve and then to me to approve. So I'll create PD activity. Now that that's saved, it goes into a draft mode here. So I reopen my PD activity. I can change things if need be. I can also put in staff members. So it's just me attending right now, but I might also say Hagrid's coming with me. So that's relevant for whenever they're approving it to see who's coming. And then back in the details tab, I submit that for approval. Because I have full PD admin rights, I can also fully approve and publish it because I'm top of the chain there. But most of the time they would just hit submit for approval and that would go through the notification chain down the bottom here. So now we can see it's pending approval. As a PD admin, I would jump in and fully approve and publish. You can also decline it, obviously, if something's missing or we can't do it on that day, whatnot. So today I'm going to approve that one. Now that it is approved, it's going to show up on that calendar layer I was mentioning. So in schedule here, if I jump to today, there we go, right in here. And it's also going to show on my schedule on the 3rd. If I jump through to the 3rd, whoops. There we go. The last thing I'll show you here is in my staff profile in the attendance and the PD tab, I can see my own PD activities. So you can go to any other staff members, you can look at your own, you can download a combined PD certificate, which shows me all my hours. There is a lot more you can do with PD. It's